Okay, so boys and girls, now that we learned a little bit about Leonardo da Vinci and his life, we're going to try to build one of Leonardo's most famous designs, which is his armored tank. Leonardo's tank is sometimes described as a prototype of modern tanks. His idea was inspired by a turtle shell. The covering was to be made of wood and reinforced with metal plates that add to its thickness. The angle of the tank would deflect enemy fire. The machine was powered by two large inside cranks operated by four strong men. The vehicle was equipped with an array of light cannons placed around the perimeter. The gears of the design were located in a reversed order, making the vehicle unworkable. This is thought by some sources to have been a deliberate mistake by Leonardo because he didn't want his actual tank to be used to hurt anyone. In 2010, a group of engineers recreated Leonardo's vehicle based on the original design and fixed the mistake in gearing. So boys and girls, let's see if we can try to create a model of Leonardo's tank. So here I have a clear drinking cup, and just so you know at home, my cup is measuring 3 inches across from the top of the circle to the bottom. So if you want to make yours look just like mine, I have a 3-inch wide cup. I have some hard watercolor paper, and I have some brown paint, and I have a much larger container top here, which is about 4.5 inches. I want this circle to be bigger than the circle of my cup. So very easy. I'm just going to put this down, and I'm going to trace the circle. This is going to become the top of the tank. And I'm going to cut that out using my scissors here. And boys and girls, one trick about cutting is turn the paper, not the scissors. So use your other hand to guide the paper into the scissors. It'll work much better. You won't get all those choppy cut marks. See that? Okay, I'm going to save this paper. And now what I want to do is I want to find the middle of my circle. So I'm just going to fold it in half, just like that, so I know where the center is. And I'll put a line there so you can see. I know it's hard to see on the camera. And I want to make a cut mark from the top of the circle down to the center like that. Easy, right? Now, I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue, but if you don't have hot glue, you can use Elmer's glue like this and just give it time to dry in between. But what I want to do is I'm going to take the glue and I'm going to overlap that just like that to create the top of the tank. Okay, so you can see the top of my tank is done. And now what I want to do is I want to create the bottom. If I put this cup here, that's too tall. It doesn't look like Leonardo's tank. So I'm going to just cut down. And if you're using the same kind of cup as I am, you can see I'm using these lines as a guide. And I want to cut to the bottom of those lines, just like this. There. And get some of that off. And you'll see that this will fit right on top. So again, I can use my Elmer's glue to stick that on. But I think I'm going to use my hot glue gun again, just to speed it up. Again, if you don't have a hot glue gun, you can Elmer's glue it and secure it with a little bit of tape to hold it while it dries. But I think that looks pretty good. And I'm just going to give my cup a few seconds to set up. But that's how it looks. Now you can see that the top of my cone here is a little too wide. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim some of that off. There. That's starting to look like Leonardo's tank. But the bottom is a little too small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some masking tape like this, and I'm going to tape the whole thing up so it looks like one piece. So I'm going to bring the tape down the side and under the bottom of the cup. So let me put that on. Okay, so do you see how I did that? Pretty easy, right? So now what I'm going to do is take that paint back out and a paintbrush, and I'm just going to dry brush my tank with some of the brown. And it's already starting to make it look like it's right out of the pages of Leonardo da Vinci's sketchbook. So just dry brush. There we go. And I'm going to give that a few minutes to dry. And then I'm going to go back in and add my final details. Okay, so boys and girls, I gave my paint time to dry. So I'm going to take my Sharpie and looking at the picture off to the side, I'm going to study it, and I see that there's another level here to the top of the tank, but I'm going to just show that by adding a black line across the top. And then I'm going to put some lines going down. Like that. And then I see Leonardo designed the tank to have a series of holes on top. So I'm going to put little circles across. And then I see lines that run down. Here. See the lines? And then in between those lines, Leonardo has another circle. I would imagine that must be where those little cannons came out. So I'm going to go in. If you don't have a Sharpie, you can use just a regular pen to color this in. See my lines running around. And then on the bottom, I'm going to put some more lines. And some more texture. There. I think what I want to do too is I'm just going to run a band across where that paper is underneath, just to make that pop out a little bit more. But I can see how Leonardo was definitely inspired by a turtle shell, because this does look like a shell. There. So there is my little replica of Leonardo da Vinci's military tank. And if you give it a try, I'd love to see it. Have mom or dad send me a picture at pricet@pearlriver.org. And if you master the project and you would like to try another Da Vinci inspired project, click on another grade level link and see what they're doing as well. I hope you had fun. I will see you next week where we will be doing some more fun art online. I'll talk to you soon, boys and girls. Have a great day.